signing free agents is one of the most important things of doing a rebuild. But what if we couldn't do that? Because today we're going to be doing a rebuild where we just can't sign free agents. So we are going to be heavily relying on developing the players already on the roster and being able to draft well and being able to develop those players well. And this is likely going to be a super cheap team, but the challenge is going to be to make this a really good team. But because of the team I chose here, the Pittsburgh Steelers, I think we can do that. But I'll explain why in just a second. And let's see if we can get to 1,500 likes on this video. It really does help out the channel, and like, imagine if everyone did it, we would be at like 15,000 likes or something. I would very much appreciate it. And we've been doing really well with all the like goals lately. And be sure to subscribe because I post a ton of Madden rebuilds. Y'all really seem to enjoy them. And once we hit 25K, I have something really special planned. It's almost a mashup of some of my most popular videos, I guess. So be sure to subscribe if you want to catch that video. Plus, you subscribing will make it happen. And last thing, I want to do another realistic rebuild. I haven't done one in a while, and that used to be the staple of the channel. So let me know down below what team you would want me to do. And be sure to like any good ideas y'all would want to see, because probably the most liked comment I'll end up doing. But now, without further ado, let's get into this rebuild. So the reason I chose the Steelers, I tried to be strategic about this, I guess. I probably could have picked a better team, but A, I feel like I have barely done the Steelers on this channel, and B, they have a lot of players at important positions that I think I can develop pretty easily, with one exception at probably the most important position. But at receiver, Deontay Johnson, I think I can turn him into a pretty good player. I normally see him at like an 88 overall, or at least in the high 80s, so that's pretty much problem solved there. George Pickens too, he should be developable. Is that a word? I don't know. Pat Freiermuth, same deal. Najee Harris, same deal. So that's like all those positions. We should have a bright future for them. And on defense, Minkah Fitzpatrick, still young. The edge group, amazing, and still fairly young. The D-line could be a question, but we have Keanu Benton at least. He's been a stud this year. And at corner, we have Joey Porter, who I think we can turn into a stud, but other than him, I mean, that's just something we can draft. But as long as we have a good number one, I'm cool with it. But the big question mark of this team, in real life and here, is about Kenny Pickett. He is young, and he has a dev trait, but he's been pretty terrible in real life. His hair is spazzing out too. I hate when it does that. You know, not all the blame can be put on him. Mostly Matt Canada, probably the most infamous offensive coordinator in the NFL. Everybody hates him. And he apparently has burner accounts on Twitter, I heard. I don't know how true that is, but it's funny as hell to me if it is. Like, this is a solid offense on paper. If we can get like a really good rookie QB through the draft, we could be cooking here. This offense could be lethal. Oh, and obviously I should mention we can re-sign players, obviously. But if we aren't able to re-sign a player, I'm gonna say we can't go and get them from free agency. We can't touch free agency at all. I'm even gonna try to not use the unsigned free agents much at all. Maybe if we need depth, but I'm not gonna get anyone good. I'll just fill out the roster with like, I don't know, Anthony Schwartz or something. But now, let's get into this rebuild, and we'll get to the midseason point of year one, and hopefully this team can do well. I actually don't remember how the Steelers do in simulation, but I guess we'll just have to see. Okay, well, that's not the start I expected necessarily. I feel like this has been happening a lot lately. We are 1-5, and the one game we won was the first game of the year against the 49ers. Has that only been happening to me, where we will win the first game of the year no matter what and then just lose the rest by the mid-season? Like, also, what is our points per game on offense? We scored 6, 14, 7, 14, 7, and 3. Do we have like 9 points per game right now? Is this worse than the Steelers' offense is in real life somehow? Wow, that was some pretty good math. We have 9.1 points per game. So maybe the Steelers' offensive playbook isn't exactly the best, apparently. I guess that's realistic though. Do we just want to change it now, or do we want to give it a chance? I mean, I've never seen it be good, to be fair. Okay, you know what? Nah, we are going to switch the playbook, because now that I think about it, I have seen the Steelers picking number one overall a decent amount. I don't think this offensive playbook is good, or at least there's something wrong with it. And you know what? I'm going to do something interesting. I'm not going to go with the usual like Chiefs or Bills or whatever I pick. Maybe this is a mistake because we're running a spread offense. offense, but if I can find it, we're gonna try out the Ravens offense. I guess a division rival of this team. We kind of fit West Coast Power Run, so we could just do that. Yeah, we'll try this out. West Coast Power Run and the Ravens offense. So that's gonna mean a little bit of scrambling from Kenny Pickett, but that's maybe better than him passing. So we'll rock with that for at least the rest of the year. We'll probably switch it up at the beginning of next year if we get a better QB, because we have good weapons and I want to use them, but right now we're not using them anyways, so we'll just run the ball. And we have some players to re-sign already. Levi Wallace, I mean, he's cheap. We could re-sign him. And then just a lot of depth players, but we might have to re-sign a decent amount of depth players here because I don't know if we're going to get enough from the draft. Well, nah, I decided we can re-sign depth, so I guess we'll just do that. But we're broke. I guess we won't re-sign anyone here. That's fine, though. There isn't really anyone too important here. Najee Harris, okay, I guess we can't pick up the 5th year yet, but we're going to do that. Normally, I don't pick him up because there isn't really much of a point in Madden, at least, but I'll do it there because it's a running back. I don't care if it really makes his contract later more expensive. It's going to be pretty cheap either way. But now let's get to the end of year number 1 and we will see how this team finishes. Okay, well, you know what? That actually kind of worked out. We finished 7-10, which, you know, maybe we should have just gone for a really high draft pick this year, but I was kind of sick of having 9 points per game. So we ended up with 17, which is still ass, but a lot better than 9. Also, our defense was bad. It was 23rd for points allowed per game, I guess. I mean, the yards look like they were pretty good, but it should have been a lot better in all 3 categories. But let's check out the season stats. Kenny Pickett was bad still. 3,200 yards, 17 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. Gross. Najee Harris was solid, almost 1,200 yards, 4.3 per carry, 12 touchdowns. Even Kenny Pickett, thanks to the new offense, 500 yards. Not a great yard per carry average, though. Receiving, obviously not much. Not even 900 yards for Deontay Johnson led the team. 7 touchdowns at least, I guess. And blocking, ooh. How many times did we pass? 458. Where did that rank in the NFL? It was about average, I guess. But our offensive line definitely wasn't great. And then on defense, Cole Holcomb led the team with 115 tackles, 105 for Patrick Peterson. Of all players, he's been ass in real life. He was great last year for the Vikings, though, so I'm kind of surprised, but whatever. Tackles for loss, 24 for Cam Hayward, 14 for Watt, 12 for Highsmith, 11 for Benton. We had a lot there. In sacks, only 10.5 from TJ Watt. Doesn't he already have almost that in real life? Doesn't he have like 8 through 6 games or however many? And TJ Watt always wins Defensive Player of the Year, but of course when I use the Steelers, he sucks. I mean, that's not terrible, but still. Alex Highsmith, only 5.5. I mean, it could have been worse. 7.5 for Hayward, whatever. In interceptions, 2 for Porter and Wallace, and then 1 for a few players. Yeah, our defense was a lot worse than it should have been. I mean, it was still fine, but it should have been elite, and it definitely wasn't. An MVP goes to, dude, why does this happen? It goes to a division rival in Lamar Jackson. If we use the Chiefs, MVP goes to Justin Herbert. If we use, like, the Eagles or something, it goes to Dak Prescott. It seems like a division rival, more often than not, wins, like, a big award if we are usering a team. I hate it. Why does it do that? It's annoying. So MVP goes to Lamar Jackson. Cool. I love this game. I mean, he's borderline playing like one in real life. His stats aren't really amazing, but that's why you don't look at stats. That's why you watch film. Offensive Player of the Year, of course, goes to Lamar, so maybe we did pick a good offensive playbook. I don't know. No Steelers up there. Shocker, I know. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Max Crosby. The one time I haven't seen TJ Watt appear is, of course, when I'm using the Steelers. That's awesome. I love Robert Quinn. Bruh. I love this game. Offensive Player of the Year goes to, Rookie of the Year goes to CJ Stroud. No Steelers. And Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to Christian Gonzalez. Joey Porter at 4. Keanu Benton at 6. Disappointing year, to say the least. So we're definitely going to have some work to do in the offseason. So let's get into the offseason and let's hopefully do well in the draft. We'll see. And in the Super Bowl, the Eagles take down the Chargers of all teams. I've seen the Chargers in the Super Bowl a lot. Why? I mean, not a lot, but a few few times, and that's more than they should be. I mean, they have a good team on paper, but they're cursed and they don't have a very good coach. So I don't know if that's a recipe for success, but I guess in Madden, sure, why not? But they lose anyways, 21-13 to the Eagles. But for re-signings, we are very broke, so we can't bring anyone back anyways. We'll pick up the 5th year for Najee Harris, and that's all we're gonna do. Not that I really want any of these guys back anyways, but, you know, we can't even if I wanted them. But here we're gonna be trading Patrick Peterson to the Texans for a 3rd round pick. That definitely seems like too much for an old corner who's been bad in real life this year, but this isn't a realistic rebuild, so we'll just take whatever we can get. I don't even know if that 3rd round pick is gonna help us. I don't know if we're gonna get anyone good with that pick, but we'll try, I guess. And for some reason, the Bears wanted Allen Robinson back. They literally only had like DJ Moore and Velus Jones on their roster, and that's it. I think they had one more receiver, but it was like a 65 overall. So we're gonna send Allen Robinson back to the Bears, where he definitely worked out. That was great for the Bears. But yeah, we're getting a 4th round pick, and that saves cap, and I want to get Calvin Austin more playing time anyways, so that works out for us. I don't know about for the Bears, but it definitely works out for us. And hey, at least in Madden, Allen Robinson might be decent. I don't know. But in the draft, the Bears have the number 1 pick. We pick at number 9, and I kind of want to trade up. There is one major reason for that. There is one 1st round QB in this draft, and that is Emmett Lamb. Ooh, and he's only 21 years old, but he is projected to go top 5, and we don't pick in the top 5. Now, if we don't get him, there are other okay options like Trent Randolph. Looks all right, 2nd to 3rd round talent. Jonathan Ramsey. Ooh, he's only 20 years old. Damn. That's kind of rare. I feel like I never see 20-year-old players in the draft. I don't know why, but yeah, I don't. So maybe we won't trade up, only if we can, but Ramsey might be a good option, assuming he has a dev trait, which maybe not. But the Bears do kind of need a QB. I mean, they still have Justin Fields, but I don't think Lamb is going to be better than Fields, because Lamb's only a 1st to 2nd round talent. Fields is like a 75 overall here or something. And no, they go with Jose Sherman, a D lineman. The Patriots, same deal. I was trying to trade up with them, but Mac Jones is also a 75. They might go with the QB though. Nope, they go with Zach Kemp, an outside linebacker. And it would actually make sense for the Saints to go with a QB here, because they have Derek Carr, also a 75 overall, but he's old, so they might go with a QB here. The problem is we can't trade up with them because they're poor. They're very broke. But we could maybe take the Derek Carr contract, or no, that wouldn't even really save them money. Never mind. I don't know how we could take money off their hands, because it would just make it really expensive to trade for. Maybe Taysom Hill. Yeah, that might work, but this is gonna give them money. This saves them money, but you still can't do it for whatever reason. I hate this game. This is a stupid trade. James Hurst, and we'll probably have to add a decent draft pick to make this go through. Oh, that is not even close. Okay, maybe not then. I was thinking we could trade our 1st up, but no, that's too expensive. So let's see what they do here. They still don't go with the QB. I doubt the 49ers would. I doubt the Cardinals would. The Rams, they have Stafford who's old, so they might. I feel like I remember them being broke too, though. I wish the CPU... Oh, they're not broke anymore. Okay. Okay, that's not close, obviously. Okay, we are getting their pick, number 6 overall, for our pick, number 9. Nice. And Kenny Pickett, and we're also getting a 4th round pick from them. I explained that in the most confusing order of all time. But we're trading Pickett and our pick for their pick and a 4th round pick. Maybe we could have gotten more value, I don't know. But I didn't want to risk that quarterback getting taken. Can't wait for him to have normal dev. Let's go with Emmett Lamb out of Alabama. Elite throw power, good enough speed, good enough strength. He just looks good enough at everything. He does have a medium and short accuracy though, at least, and elite throw power obviously, so he's better than good enough at those, but I'm just rambling at this point. Let's take him here. Hidden dev, 94 throw power, 79 speed, 81 excel, 86 change of direction. He kind of looks like Antonio Brown. Why does he look like Antonio Brown? I guess that's fitting. Hopefully he isn't insane though, but I guess it's fitting for the Steelers. Jonathan Ramsey's still available, so I guess we could have done that too, but I doubt he has a dev trait. I do definitely want a corner here though. Which one looks like the best? This guy has elite acceleration and great speed. His ratings aren't that good though. I thought this guy looked pretty good. Benjamin Walters, elite change of direction and agility. Only marginal speed. I mean, it doesn't look that bad to me. And I guess I'm hoping he has good man coverage. Maybe he isn't that good. We're just really banking on on him having good man. I wish I scouted the corners more. I thought I did. Did they all get taken? I focus scouted Jeff Barton and Brett Sims. Brett Sims looks pretty good. We might go with him. About the same speed, better strength, I think. Not as crazy of like agility and acceleration, which might hurt, but he does have better speed and possibly better ratings. This would be a little bit of a reach though. I mean, it's only the early second and he's projected to go third to fourth. So let's go with someone else first. Well, maybe not. I like Emmett Burrows too, so we're gonna have to take one of them first. Let's go with Brett Sims first. They're both projected to go in the same range. So Brett Sims out at LSU. I have no idea if he's gonna have a dev trade or not. We're gonna hope he does. He has good injury, but lacks discipline. He probably won't, but let's take him. No, he doesn't, but I think he'll be a decent overall, so we'll take it. And now in the third round, this is gonna be the last pick I show. Let's go with Emmett Burrows out of Boise State. Really good strength, good speed, like good enough, especially for a pure like run defending guy. Terrible coverage, but great run defender. He might have a dev trait. He has bad injury, but he has good traits, which I think I discovered means they won't have a dev trait, but we will hope he does. Let's go with Emmett Burrows out of Boise State. And he does. Okay. We're number 98. Shout out Vince Williams, I guess. He was kind of a stud for a few years. I mean, similar-ish player. We kind of just got Vince Williams here. So I definitely like that pick a lot. And I might take a couple more picks. I do want to look for a lineman. I don't know if there will be any even decent ones available still, but I'll still look and I'll see y'all for the draft recap. Okay, well, we actually did pretty well. Emmett Lamb is a 74. That's about what I thought he would be. I was thinking he could be like a 72 or something, but no, 74 is pretty good. We're in number 0, which is kind of cool for a QB. I guess we'll do it. I don't even know if QBs can wear 0, to be fair, but we'll do it anyways. Brett Sims is solid. Of course, no dev trait, but he will be our number 2 corner. There just weren't really any good-looking corners there at all. Maybe there was one. Nah, I mean, there was Bartow at a 72, Brown at a 70. I guess we could have taken like Clyde Bridge and moved him to corner, but I wasn't thinking that. Oh, there was Benjamin Walters at a 74. He probably would have been better. He also doesn't have a dev trait though, so I guess it doesn't really matter. And then Emmett Burrows is a 74. He's looking pretty good. Hidden dev. And then I took every pick down to Messina. Davion Edwards, a guard, does have a dev trait. I don't know if we're going to play him, but that's nice. Jalen Gary, this receiver, also has a dev trait. Hernandez doesn't, but he's a 74 overall slot receiver. And then Messina isn't very good. And then I think the CPU picked these two guys. Gilliard has a dev trait and Reese has a dev trait. So this was a good draft. I mean, there isn't like a crazy overall guy here, but I mean, we got our QB, so I'm good. Assuming he plays well, we'll see. But now let's get into year number 2 of the rebuild. But here's a look at the team heading into year number 2 of the rebuild. I mean, this team will probably really closely resemble the Steelers at the end of this because we're not going to be signing any free agents, obviously. So, I mean, a lot of the good and young players already on the team are going to be here by the end. But we did make some changes this year, obviously. And hopefully Emmett Lamb at QB can do pretty well. We'll see what he does. And we're going to run the Chiefs playbook just because they usually were. Or no, we're running Buffalo. Do we maybe want to run the Chiefs? Yeah, we'll try the Chiefs playbook. We'll see what that does. And we're going to be starting a few other rookies on offense. We're going to start Hernandez at receiver, up to a 75 overall now, and Edwards at center because Mason Cole was terrible last year. And then we also, of course, have a couple rookies starting on defense in Sims and Burrows, so we'll see what they can do. But now, let's get to the midseason point of year number 2, and we'll see how this team does. Okay, well, big improvements in year 2. We have one extra win. We are 2-4. Is our defense just bad? Well, I guess we're bad overall. Our offense sucks and our defense sucks. Okay, our offense makes a little bit of sense, but our defense being pretty terrible doesn't really make sense. Is this just gonna be another good old classic trying to find a good playbook? Probably. That's how most rebuilds are, because they matter way too much. I wonder if the Packers defense is good. I don't know, but they were towards the top of the league for like sacks and just overall defense. We'll hope that one's good, I guess. I don't know. Probably not. But we again have some re-signings to make here. Some pretty important ones, to be honest. But we do thankfully have a good amount of money. Deontay Johnson is, I guess, the one who's listed first for some reason. But we'll probably have to go very player-friendly to get him back. 5 years, 69 mil. Nice. And he does take it. Pat Freiermuth, we'll try 4 years, 44.4 mil. He re-signs. James Daniels is still only 26. That's really surprising to me for some reason. I don't know why, but I thought he was like 28 in real life already, but this is kind of an overpay. How's he been playing? Last year he was all right, I guess, but this year he's been really good. No sacks allowed so far. 5 years, 72 though. That's, I mean, that wouldn't be bad for real life, but we'll try very player friendly. We'll do it. He takes it. And then Cam Hayward, assuming he doesn't retire, 1 year, 20 mil, he resigns. DeMonte Casey, we could just replace him. He was solid last year. I mean, 1 pick isn't great, but 10 pass deflections is good, but no picks so far this year, and only 1 pass deflection isn't great, so, plus he's 31. I guess Chukwuma Okorafor is a starter too. He's not interested though. I think we'll just replace him. He is a stud so far this year though. Only 1 sack allowed. I know what'll happen as soon as we re-sign him though, so I'm not gonna do that. So definitely a really unfortunate start to the year. I mean, I guess we don't have the best roster in the world by any means. We're only an 80 overall, but I thought we would be doing better than 2-4. I guess we're up to an 81 now. Also, how does Emmett Lamb not have his dev trait revealed? Well, I guess we've only played like 6 games, but still. But anyways, let's get to the end of year number 2, and hopefully we can do better in the second half of year 2, but you never know. All right, well, apparently this is just gonna be a 7-10 type rebuild. We go 7-10 again. What was the problem this year? I mean, I see that both our offense and defense underperformed. Emmett Lamb wasn't great as a rookie. I mean, 3,800 yards is fine, 24 touchdowns is solid, but 18 picks? That's not great. Only star dev 2, which I expected, but still. 1,100 yards for Najee Harris, 12 touchdowns, 4.4 per carry. 1,100 yards for Pat Freiermuth, 9 touchdowns. Not much from our receivers though. And blocking, Broderick Jones was awful at left tackle. Davion Edwards was awful at center, but our other linemen were good, especially James Daniels, who joins the all-castration team, the group of players that don't allow a sack in a season, so he was definitely a good decision to re-sign. Do we re-sign Okorafor? He was good, but how much do I trust him to be good again is the question. Because last year allowed, what, 10 sacks? Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll decide later. And then on defense, Emmett Burrows with 130 tackles, 105 for Holcomb. Tackles for loss, I see 12 for Watt and Hayward, and sacks. 14.5 for Hayward, 8 for Alex Highsmith, and 6 for TJ Watt. This game sucks. It isn't even like a theory anymore that players do worse when you use that team. I've never seen TJ Watt do this bad, ever. I hate this game. And then interceptions, 3 for Cole Holcomb, 2 for Minka, and then 1 for a few players. So, God, this game sucks. And yep, this isn't a theory either. MVP goes to Lamar Jackson. Cool. So does Offensive Player of the Year. Defensive Player of the Year goes to 36-year-old or whatever Khalil Mack. That makes sense. Landon Collins up there for the Browns. What is this game, dude? This is the worst simulation I've ever seen. Cam Hayward at number 5. Of course, no other Steelers. No TJ Watt, because the game's bad. Of course, a division rival wins Offensive Rookie of the Year in Jelani Sheard. Emmett Lamb at number 2. Enrique Hernandez at 3. And we do thankfully get Defensive Rookie of the Year. Emmett Burrows wins it. We'll take it, I guess. But let's see what we can do in the offseason. I don't even know what to do. Our players are just underperforming. That's what it comes down to. But in the Super Bowl, the Chiefs take down the Falcons, one of the teams I was thinking about using for this rebuild. But I'm sure the Falcons wouldn't have done as well if I was using them, of course. We probably would have gone like 7-10 or something. But the Chiefs beat them in the Super Bowl here anyways, 28-14. But now for re-signings, do we want anyone here back? Okay, we might re-sign Okorafor. I don't want to sign him to this long of a deal though. I mean, I guess we'll probably play through the whole thing anyways, so I guess it doesn't really matter. Sure, we'll go 4 years, 30.8 mil, and he doesn't take it anyways. Okay, whatever, that's fine. I mean, he was good, but I think he was just good because he needed a contract. He was just playing for a contract, which is so weird that that's a thing in this game, yet it's taken them how many years to add restructuring? I mean, they finally added it, but it's so weird. It's also annoying that they can do well and then you re-sign them and they immediately suck again. I don't know. I don't think we're gonna bring anyone else back here. I mean, we can draft a safety, we can draft a tackle, and then the rest is just depth pretty much. So let's get into what is hopefully gonna be a pretty good draft for us, but we'll see. But here in the draft, the Saints have the number 1 pick. I'm scared of rebuilding that team. I hope that's not a team that gets picked. I don't know why they would be like the most upvoted comment, but I don't think that one would go very well. But what do we need here in the draft? I know we need need O-line and safety. Is there anything else we could go for? I mean, not really. Lamb wasn't great as a rookie, but we're obviously going to give him another chance. Just the O-line I definitely don't love. And then on defense, safety, like I said, Burrow's got superstar. Gilliard had superstar. I wish I started him. I was thinking about it, but I didn't, because I was like, oh, he'll just have star, but nope. He has superstar. Oh yeah, we also need corner. Okay, those will be our big three things: O-line, safety, and corner. Maybe just corner, because I can move one of them to safety as long as I pick like a corner with good run defense. But at number 10, there goes a tackle to the Commanders at 9. Truthfully, I didn't really scout many tackles. I don't know why. Ooh. Keegan Woodley is very athletic. He doesn't look that well refined though. I wish I scouted him. And Randy Hopkins is almost the opposite. Well, he's not a good run blocker either, but he has terrible athletic ability. Other than, I guess, change of direction. Yeah, that's helpful for a lineman. Okay, I legit think... Ooh, Greg Sims looks pretty good too. But I think the first guy we looked at, Keegan Woodley, might be the best just because of his athletic ability. I don't know, his actual ratings aren't that good. It's just the speed, pretty much, and the strength, obviously. The more important one, but yeah, let's go with Keegan Woodley out of Miami. Lacks discipline, and he hopefully has a good injury rating. He might have normal dev, but let's take him. Okay, he has hidden, thankfully. Good strength, really good speed for a lineman. I like that pick. We need tackle anyways, so he just looks like the best one, and I think he might be. Maybe. I don't think he's gonna be crazy, though. I think he'll only be like a 73 overall or something. Which, is that worth a top 10 pick? No, but do I care? Not really. Ooh, Daniel Ogletree is interesting. He has an okay speed. It's listed as great, which I will never understand how their ratings work in this game, because I had like a 4.49 speed corner, and it was only marginal. It wasn't even good or like solid. It was marginal, but this guy ran a 4.47 and has great speed. I hate this game. He's elite strength though, really good strength, good awareness, good zone. It's either him or we could go Larry Ankrum, which, okay, this game is so bad. He has 4.42 speed, 4.4 flat at his pro day, but only has good speed. I hate that so much. I want to put like a big sticky note over my screen where the combine and pro day numbers are and just ignore them. They're pointless now. I don't know why. Why did they do that? Why is that a good idea? But I think Daniel Ogletree is the best corner here. It looks like, at least. There is also Oscar Morrison, a safety. He looks pretty good. Pretty good. I don't know if he's great though. Clayton Sands, another safety, also looks pretty good. So let's go with Daniel Ogletree here. He could even be an option to move to safety. I mean, he has good strength, has A tackle, A to B hit power, A block shedding, so we'll see. Doesn't have great injury, but has good traits, so he might have a dev trait. Let's go with Daniel Ogletree out of Notre Dame. He does have a dev trait, 93 speed, 93 excel. Doesn't really look like his, well, kind of looks like his picture, arguably. 74 strength for a corner is nice, so I like that pick. I mean, that's not the only reason why, but you know what I mean. It's a good pick in general. And now I do want another corner slash safety, but which one is the best one? I have a hard time picking safeties, so we might be better off picking a corner. Maybe. Damn, 25 bench reps? That's like lineman strength in this game. I could probably go find a few linemen with less strength than that. Ooh. I was gonna say this guy doesn't look bad. I might pick him in like the 7th round, but he has really bad play rec. I just like the man coverage, and he has good strength. Yeah, he might be a decent like 7th round pick. I don't know why I'm getting into the undrafted section in the 3rd round. We could also do something stupid and take like a linebacker to move to safety. I don't know if this guy's great. I wish he was more scouted. It's hard to tell. Yeah, we might as well take a chance. Why not? I mean, it's the 3rd round anyways. It's not like this is a make or break pick. If I could know for sure that Zach Washington has like B tackle and B block shed, I would be confident that he's a good player, but I don't know. It could be D block shed, D tackle, and this guy could be terrible, which that might be possible because he doesn't have that good a strength. I don't know. We might as well take a chance though. Let's go with Zach Washington out of West Virginia. He does have hidden dev. I would thin him down a little bit if I did move him to safety, maybe bump his speed and excel and agility up a little bit, lower his strength. I would keep him the same overall, obviously, but we'll see. That could could be a pretty good pick. But I'll make a few more picks and I'll see y'all for the draft recap. I think we did pretty well. I don't think we got anyone that'll be like a great overall, but again, I think we just got some pretty good picks there. We'll see. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. But here's how we did in the draft, and well, I guess this isn't it. I went to the full list of players because there's some interesting stuff there. But here's how our draft went, and it was pretty good. Keegan Woodley's a little better than I thought he would be, even at a 74. I mean, he's a decent player for sure. I think the plan is going to be to play him at left tackle and then Broderick Jones at right. Hopefully he does better there because he hasn't been very good as the left tackle. We'll see what he does at the right tackle spot though. And then Daniel Ogletree is a 76 overall. He's definitely a good player. Obviously, I think he had 74 strength, really good speed, good excel, good zone coverage. He's a solid looking player for sure. And Zach Washington is actually a pretty good safety. He's a 72 overall. I forgot to change his weight. He was only a 69 overall linebacker, which nice, but that isn't great. But he did go up to a 72 at safety. Where do you even change weight at now? Am I stupid? Oh, it's edit appearance. Also, I accidentally revealed his dev trait and it's not bad. We'll say that. We'll make him like 220. So he's still big, but not like too big. But yeah, we'll just say he has a pretty good dev trait. So I think we got a good pick there. And then I made it every pick in this draft. Most of the rest of these weren't great. I just wanted to get good depth on the O-line, but I think it was Eddie Bird. Yeah, he does have hidden dev, so maybe we'll play him somewhere. I don't know. If we have a lineman that struggles at the midseason, we might bench them and put him in. We'll see. But the thing I wanted to show is there are some crazy players in this class, at least two. I just use the default draft classes, so I don't do anything crazy, but we had JC McQueen go at number 4 overall, and he looks insane. 85 overall, he obviously has X Factor. I checked. He's crazy, so they don't really lose a beat going from Derrick Henry to JC McQueen. I doubt he'll play as well because rookie running backs are never good in this game, or just generated running backs in general, but he's a good overall. And then the number 1 pick, KC White. It's weird to see a corner go number 1, but it's for a good reason. He's an 83 with X Factor, of course. 89 press as a rookie. 80 man, 80 zone, 92 speed, 95 excel. Damn, this guy's crazy. But other than those two, it wasn't a very good class. I mean, it was all right, but it wasn't anything crazy. I'm pretty sure we did get like the best tackle available. There was Brad Hall, a 75, but we picked at 10. We couldn't get him. There was Mark Alford, a 73. There were a lot of good corners in the first round, but I didn't want to take corner in the first round. Grant Perkins looks good too. So yeah, I think we got the best tackle available. Trevor Wright looks like a good guard, but he probably would have been like a 73 at tackle. So I think we did pretty well. Randy Hopkins was a 74 too. He is hidden. Maybe he would have been better because he's a scheme fit at left tackle, but oh well. It's the same overall. So we did pretty well, all things considered. But now let's get into year number 3 of the rebuild. It's crazy. It's already year 3. And hopefully we can finally do better this year, but you never know. But here's a look at the team heading into year number 3 of the rebuild. Hopefully we can finally make the playoffs this year, but I guess you never know with Madden simulation. But we don't have that good of a roster, I guess. We're only at 81. We have an 80 offense and 84 defense, but we have a lot of players that we hope we can develop throughout the year, like Emmett Lamb, like most of our offensive line, our receivers, even Pat Freiermuth, like pretty much all of our offense should develop throughout the year. And then on defense, we should have 3 young superstars with Gilliard, Burrows, and Washington, which, you know, that's his dev trait. It's superstar. Ogletree probably only has star. If he had superstar, he probably would have gotten an upgrade point by now, but I don't know, maybe not. But just the main part of this team is hopefully our pass rush can actually play as well as it should and as well as it normally does in this game. But as we all know, players don't play as well as they do in real life in this game a lot of the time, at least when I user the team, because in the game, TJ Watt's normally a monster, but not when I use the Steelers, of course. But anyways, let's get to the midseason point of year number 3, and we will see how this team can do. Okay, well, we are doing much better in year number 3 at 5-2, thankfully, because I was worried we just couldn't be good in this rebuild, but we are finally doing pretty well at least. Now, I have a theory as to why we're doing well. Let me check the defense. Okay, well, actually, Emmett Lamb is just doing really well. 1,700 yards, 12 touchdowns, only 4 picks. That's pretty nice. Najee's doing well. The receivers are doing pretty well. Broderick Jones is doing terribly. Oh, you know what? I forgot to put Woodley at left tackle. Oh, well. Also, I moved James Daniels falls to center. He's doing pretty well there. He was a higher overall at center than he was at guard, which is interesting. I mean, he's played center before, but it's still interesting. So I'll switch Jones and Woodley. Woodley's doing pretty well at right tackle, though, but I'd rather have someone do well at left tackle than right tackle, so we will switch him. But let me confirm my theory. No, my theory is not correct. I was gonna say, think TJ Watt's in a contract year, so he's probably doing well. He has 4 sacks. What is this game? If I'm like the Browns or something here, he's getting 30 sacks a season. I mean, maybe not quite 30, but probably 22 per year at least. He barely has 20 total here through 3 years. This game sucks so bad. Our defense is doing all right as a whole, at least, but I'm surprised we're 4-2. We're the 13th scoring offense and the 12th scoring defense, I guess. So I don't know, it is what it is. But we have a contract here for TJ Watt. If he was producing, I would be quick to re-sign him here, obviously, but he's not doing very well. That's probably my least favorite part of this game, which is a like crazy thing to say, because there is so much wrong with this game. This video has just turned into me complaining, and I realize that, but like, how can I not? But my least favorite part of this game is just when you user a team, a lot of the time your players don't do as well, and I don't know why that is. Just out of curiosity though, could we get like an insane amount for TJ Watt? Is this a little too ambitious? Probably. Steelers fans would hate me if I did this, but also I don't care. Okay, it's close. If it would have went through, then sure, but I don't know. What if we throw in Broderick Jones, because we wouldn't need him anymore? Oh, that's close. Do I really want to do this? Is Tristan Wirfs even good in this game? I mean, he is a lot of the time. Yeah, he's pretty good. This is like as good as left tackle play gets, although this year he's pretty bad. I don't know. I'm so conflicted here. I mean, we can hope that he turns into the player that he is in real life, but he just hasn't been at all here. Ooh, that's close though. We might do something like this, unfortunately for Steelers fans. All right, well, we are going to be trading TJ Watt, Broderick Jones in a 2nd round pick for Amon-Ra St. Brown, Penei Sewell, 2 firsts, and a 3rd. This is pretty good value for us, assuming Watt and Jones keep playing like they've been playing, because it's not great, but I know TJ Watt's going to win Defensive Player of the Year. That's just how rebuilds work. But we're getting a number 1 receiver and a really good right tackle. We could even play Sewell at left tackle. I mean, he has experience there. He's been good at left tackle when he's had to play, I think even this year, so that could be an option, but that's a big shakeup to the team. I mean, that's this team's highest overall player now gone, but a massive upgrade to this offense. And I mean, we still have Nick Herbig. Maybe we can turn him into a good player. I liked him a lot as a prospect, but more than likely he won't do much, I don't think, so we will probably just draft a replacement there. Or we could spend one of those 1st round picks and trade them for a pass rusher who will actually do well, assuming they don't just suck as soon as we trade for them, which is probably what would happen. Let's maybe look at something there. Ooh, I have bad experiences with Rashawn Gary. Let's not do that. To be honest, there isn't really anyone I trust right now to do well if we trade for them. And Rashawn Gary, A, I know would suck if we traded for him, and B, I think he'll be too expensive to trade for. The only one I'm kinda considering here is Khalil Mack. Let's see if we can cook up a trade for him. That is such a small gap in there, I can barely see it. But we are trading the 1st round pick next year that we got from the Lions and a 7th this year for Khalil Mack, a 3 and a 4 this year. So again, massive shakeup to the team, but I would like to think that's all a net positive. In real life, probably wouldn't be a great sequence of trades there, but here that definitely made us a better team all around. I mean, I don't want to jinx anything, but Mac should hopefully play better than Watt's been playing. I guess we'll see though. But either way, we got a ton of value from TJ Watt, so it doesn't really matter if he does or not. So lengthy mid-season, but we're not even done here. We have to re-sign some players still. So let's start off with Najee Harris. We'll have to go very player-friendly, 5 years, 84 mil, or not 84, 48 mil, and he doesn't take it. That could be a problem, but I guess we'll see. Cam Hayward, 1 year, 19.8 mil. Damn, okay. Nobody wants to come back, apparently. George Pickens, 4 years, 40 mil. He resigns, thankfully. And Khalil Mack, unfortunately, needs a contract immediately, but, oh, I don't know if I want to pay him that much. We might just wait for him to regress, honestly, and then pay him. Cole Holcomb, I guess we'll re-sign just in case we can't draft a replacement to him. He re-signs. Larry Ogunjobi's already been replaced. And then it's just a bunch of depth players here. Braden Mann, I guess we can re-sign. I don't know. Sure, why not? But the Khalil Mack one is interesting. I wish he was interested, but I didn't really expect him to be. I'm just hoping you'll become cheaper. So let's just get to the end of the year and we will see how this team can do. I'll have to rearrange the depth chart and everything, but let's get to the end of year 3. All right, well, here we are at the end of year number 3. And if you've seen one of my videos before, of course, y'all know why we're here. Super quick, if you haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe. I mean, it really helps out the channel. I would very much appreciate it, and it takes you like 2 seconds. And again, of course, I want to do a realistic rebuild next, so let me know what team I should do. Just not like God, what teams have I done recently? No Seahawks, no Giants, no Cardinals, I guess I've done recently, and Panthers maybe? But I might redo the Panthers, we'll see, because they're pretty different looking now. But anyways, in year number 3, we finished 14-3, making the playoffs and getting a first round bye. We almost went not winless, undefeated in the second half of the year, but the Chargers beat us in week 18. Week 1 and week 18 in this game are always weird. I don't know why. I feel like if we're gonna suck, we're gonna win the first game of the year. If we're great, we lose the last game of the year. I don't know why that is, but it's interesting. What else is interesting is Emmett Lamb was amazing. 4,400 yards, 39 touchdowns, 10 picks. He was a monster. 110 passer rating, good completion percentage. Najee Harris, 1,500 yards, 5.6 yards per carry, 16 touchdowns. He was really good. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 1,500 yards, 17 touchdowns. I don't know how many of those yards were with us, but I mean, either way, that's a really good year. Pat Freiermuth, 1,100 yards, 13 touchdowns, and not much for receiving outside of those two. And then the blocking was really good. Again, Sewell, I don't know how many of those sacks allowed were with the Lions and how many were with us, but overall, the line was good. Davion Edwards wasn't great, so we might look for a replacement there. Isaac Seumalo was really good, but he's old, so we'll probably be looking to replace him too. And then on defense, Emmett Burrows, I just realized we have 2 Emmets, one on offense, one on defense. Emmett Burrows with 128 tackles led the team. Tackles for loss, 16 for Hayward, 14 for Mack, 11 for Highsmith and Gilliard, and then sacks, 19 for Khalil Mack, meaning he had, what, 12 sacks in the second half of the year? I think he had 7 when we traded for him. And then 13 for Hayward, 9.5 for Highsmith. Good amount overall. 5.5 for Holcomb even. He was pretty good. I mean, no picks, but still. And then interceptions weren't great. 2 for Burrows, 1 for Highsmith of all players, Washington, Porter, and Cook. That's really bad. Only 6 total. Our defense still maybe needs some work, but I do like the pressure we're getting at least. Oh my God, I hate this game. Lamar wins MVP. Has it been Lamar and Dak top 2 every year? That is the most EA thing I've ever seen. A division rival winning it and then Dak at number 2. Or Dak winning it. Like, this game sucks, genuinely. Like, I'm not even saying it to joke around anymore. It's just embarrassing. I mean, not that this is like the worst part of the game or anything. There's much worse, but for simulation at least, this sucks. Emmett Lamb at number 4, at least he was up there. And then offensive player of the year, of course, goes to Lamar Jackson. Amon-Ra at number 3, Najee at number 4, so we had a couple players up there. Defensive player of the year does go to Khalil Mack again. That's not realistic, but I'll take it. And then Cam Hayward at number 6. Surprisingly, no TJ Watt up here. I mean, we traded him to the... Oh, no. Nope, I called it. TJ Watt wins defensive player of the year for the Lions. Who would have guessed? I mean, at least we got the defensive player of the year for the AFC, but yeah, I mean, it was obvious he was going to win it as soon as we trade him. He finished with 13 sacks, which isn't like great by his standards, but that's still good. I'm surprised he won it. I guess just the tackles for loss and I guess the tackles. He had a lot of tackles for some reason. But offensive rookie of the year goes to Aaron Graham for the Broncos. No Steelers. I don't think we had anyone that could have been up there. And defensive rookie of the year goes to Dante Arnaud for the Texans. That's an interesting name. Zach Washington at 4. No other Steelers. So disappointing for the awards. I thought we would do better with them, but at least we got defensive player of the year. That's pretty nice. But now, let's see who we're going to be taking on in the divisional. Of course it's the Chargers. Who else would it be? We've seen them a lot in this rebuild for some reason, and they are 10-7 here at only an 82 overall. We're going to lose this game. I already know it, but it's still interesting that our defense is 6 overall higher, and they only allowed 20.5 points per game, and we allowed 21 1.5. I love this game. How many times can I say it? It's a great game. We have an upgrade for Daniel Ogletree, though. We'll take it. Did they okay, no, I was gonna say, did they change slot upgrade? Like the slot upgrade? Because we're not getting much man, but we did there. We got 4. But we have a playoff blizzard here. So this is definitely a home game, obviously. These are kind of rare, it seems like, but it'll obviously reduce movement ability for both teams. And then first of many we have. Feels like we should have been in the playoffs earlier, but I'm glad. It's better late than never, I guess. But we will go play it cool. Doesn't matter, we aren't gonna win this anyways. So let's simulate it and we will just see what happens. Okay, no, we do win. 28-16, we'll take it. I'm just sick of Madden simulation though. It's so weird. At least we do win that game though. I can't complain about that. But we have a recap for the playoff blizzard. I don't even remember what this gives. Does it give us like XP or morale? I don't know. 2,500 XP and staff points. Sweet, juicy staff points. Speaking of that, we have a recap for the first of many. Super interesting, I know. But more sweet, juicy staff points. Please and thank you. But we should have some upgrades. You have to go to the roster to make them show up. Unless we just... Okay, yeah, we did get some. Oh, they still didn't show up. That's annoying. I don't want to have to spend these manually and go through every player. Amon-Ra wearing number 86. I don't know about that. All right, 14's taken, so we'll give him 13. I guess that works. Good amount of upgrades, though. I mean, one for Pat Freiermuth, too. Cam Hayward, Emmett Burrows, Davion Edwards, Damian Gilliard. Decent amount of starters. We'll take it. But we're going to be taking on the Chiefs in the conference championship. And just out of curiosity, did we go up in overall? No, we're still in 87. I want to see where that ranks in the NFL, though, because, I mean, I see the Chiefs are in 87, too. The Ravens have an 86. That's interesting. The 49ers also have an 87. So I guess we're tied for the best team in the NFL with 2 other teams. Also, what are the Rams doing? They're an 81 overall, and I think I saw them do pretty decent. The Jags are only an 82? That's really weird to me, but okay. Cardinals are an 82. That makes sense. The Browns are only an 81, but, I mean, they're broke. They have to pay the Deshaun Watson contract. The Broncos are an 81. I'm really surprised the Jags are as low as they are. But anyways, we will just simulate this game out, and we'll see if we can somehow get a win. Okay, we do. 29-26 over the Chiefs. I'm surprised about that. I thought we were done for sure. But we have a good amount of upgrades here, and we are going to be moving on to the Super Bowl against the Bucks of all teams. Who's their QB now? Is it still Baker? They usually draft somebody, so they probably did here, but that's interesting. They have an 85 overall team, and yeah, they got a really good QB. I feel like, oh, well, I was going to say I feel like they always end up with a really good QB. Oh, this is the guy I was thinking about taking, Jonathan Ramsey. I don't know if he had star dev or got star dev, but he looks pretty good. He probably got star dev because it looks like he played well this year. So it looks like we definitely picked the right QB, but this guy looks good too. Maybe he didn't get star dev. Maybe he did just have it, but either way, I think we picked the right guy. But before we jump into the Super Bowl, it looks like we have even more upgrades. Who is this going to be? Khalil Mack, we'll take that. Keegan Woodley, pretty nice upgrades there. And we have a Super Bowl Media Day, so more sweet, juicy staff points, please and thank you. I guess this is just the beginning. I mean, we'll probably do another year, no matter what happens, but now let's jump in against the Bucks and we will see what happens. But here we go in, I guess, what is Super Bowl 60, probably. The announcer's screaming really loud in my ear. That's my least favorite part of the Super Bowl here, but let's simulate this game out against the Buccaneers, and let's see if we can get the Steelers another Super Bowl. And we immediately go up 10-0, now 13-0. I wish some of those could have been touchdowns, but we are now up 20-0. Make that 23-0. This one is not even close. They do get 8 on the board, but we are now up 30-8, and that's going to be the final score as we get the Steelers another Super Bowl without even signing any free agents. Now, we did make a couple of goofy trades, so we definitely added some players, but I would say it's a pretty good accomplishment either way. Now we have our Antonio Brown ass looking QB up there, and we get this team an absolutely dominating Super Bowl win. But we're not done yet. We're gonna go one more year, and we're gonna see if we can make this team even better. Now, the big question is, are we gonna have any retirements? Probably. I would bet that Cam Hayward will probably retire, unfortunately, but I don't know if anyone else will. Maybe he didn't. We're still the same overall. No, he's still here. Okay, and he's still an 88 overall. Khalil Mack didn't retire either. Oh, we're chilling, dude. And we got some dev ups. So Emmett Lamb went up to superstar dev, which is definitely nice. Hasn't really developed a whole lot in overall, but I mean, he's a number 13 ranked QB in the NFL, 97 throw power. The superstar dev should definitely help. Najee Harris got X Factor. Pat Freiermuth got X Factor. On defense, Alex Highsmith got X Factor. Zach Washington got X Factor. No corners got dev traits, unfortunately, but I'm not gonna complain. We got a ton. And dude, the Zach Washington pick keeps looking better and better. It's maybe not realistic to move a linebacker to safety. I mean, now that I think about it, I don't know if there is even one in the NFL that like currently is a good safety that moved over from linebacker. I know there's like safeties that moved to linebacker, like Foye Olukun and Kaiser White, I guess. But I don't know about the other way around, but I'm not gonna complain because it worked. And we have a good amount of upgrades here too. But now let's see who we have to re-sign. I can't remember. I did it yesterday. I think it was like, there was TJ Watt, but we traded him. I think Khalil Mack, Cam Hayward, yeah, and Najee Harris. Ooh, Najee's the big one. Because if you don't have a good running back in this game, you're not going to do well, ever. So we'll overpay. I mean, dude, we have so much money left over. We'll just overpay him. 5 years, 65 mil. He takes it. Cam Hayward, 2 years, almost 40 mil. He takes it. I know we probably could have gotten him for neutral, but we're not going to use this money for anything else anyways. Khalil Mack, 2 years, 38 mil. That's a little more expensive than I thought he would be because he's only an 85, but I guess he is the defensive player of the year, so makes sense. And now, do I want anyone else back here? I guess we'll bring Connor Hayward back, and that's about it. Isaac Seumalo's been good. 3 years, 14 mil. He doesn't take it, but that's fine. We can just draft somebody there. But speaking of that, let's get to the draft. Okay, well, here in the draft, the Browns have the #1 pick. Who would have guessed? God, I actually hope they don't get picked for what realistic rebuild y'all want to see, because that's gonna be rough. They're already, I mean, they used to be good in simulation in this game, but they fall apart so bad. I mean, maybe we'll be able to restructure or like cut Deshaun Watson or something, but God, I don't know. That one seems challenging. But we pick at number 19 is our first pick. We also have 32. And who do we want to go with here? There is, okay, well, most of the corners I wanted are gone, unfortunately. CJ Porter looks pretty good. Same with Rudy Peel. I think Porter's a little better. Neither of them have good injury, so like both of these guys might just have normal dev. But corner is probably our best chance of like finding a starter, other than guard, obviously, but we can find a guard later. I'm not worried about that. Hell, we can probably draft one of these centers and move them to guard, and they'll probably be pretty good. That is our biggest need, but again, it's not too hard to find one later. So let's go with CJ Porter. Probably gonna have normal dev, like I said, but he has good speed, overall good ratings. I really like his zone coverage, just bad injury. All of his traits or player notes are good, except struggles to find the ball in the air. Oh no. So let's go with CJ Porter out of Michigan. He does have hidden. Okay. 95 acceleration too. He looks pretty good. Also, didn't he have like 15 bench reps or something? He only has 62 strength. Am I crazy? Didn't he have like pretty good strength? I don't know. Whatever. We'll take it. I'm not gonna question this game anymore. I should just accept that it's a little weird sometimes. I mean, I guess 15 bench reps isn't that good, but 62 seems a little harsh. And who do we want to go with at guard? We might take a few just because I don't know, we might as well. It's not like we really need anything else. Vaughn Jones would be good if he wasn't complete dog shit at like every blocking category other than finesse. He still might be decent though. Bill Tolliver might be good, maybe. But let's just go with the one we know is a for sure at least first to second round talent in Jerome Weldon. Has pretty good ratings overall, not a great pass blocker and not very good finesse, which is our scheme, so that's unfortunate, but has good strength, good speed, elite change of direction. Oh boy. So let's go with Jerome Weldon out of Stanford. Hidden dev once again. Wish he was a scheme fit, of course, but 88 strength, 72 speed, 80 excel is pretty good. We'll take it. And I think we'll take either one more guard or maybe a D lineman. I don't know how much we really need D line though. Like, we have a guy with superstar dev there. We're probably good. Unfortunately, I forgot we traded our second round pick. I almost said first round pick. Ooh. How do you have 38 bench reps at your pro day, but you have F power? Just straight up F for both. How? At that point, just lose a little weight and become like a full-on agile blocker. I mean, you already are one. I guess we'll go with the guy that I kind of called dog shit. I don't know. He doesn't look that good, actually. We'll go with Bill Tolliver, I think. Great strength, good speed. That doesn't look very, I mean, it's fine speed. Good jumping for whatever that's worth. Doesn't look great, but should be good enough depth. Let's take him. Normal dev, that's kind of surprising. I thought for sure he would have a dev trait. I didn't think he would be a good overall, but oh well. It's who cares? Let's get to the draft recap. How many third round picks do we have? Okay, that's interesting. All right, let's get to the draft recap. I might make a few more picks though. All right, well, we had a decent draft for sure. It's not great, but CJ Porter 77 overall with the dev trait is pretty good. He'll probably start, and now we'll have 2 Porters at corner, which is going to be confusing, but it is what it is. Jerome Weldon looks pretty good at a 74 overall. Bill Tolliver isn't great. And then I did take every other pick in this draft. Some of them definitely weren't the best, but I wanted some D linemen, damn it, and we got him. I thought this guy was a power rusher. Whatever, that's fine. I picked him because he had good speed, and unfortunately he is ass. So, oh, he isn't even a good defensive end. I might just cut him now. I don't know. But now let's get into year number 4, the rebuild, the final year, and I can't wait for the team to do randomly much worse than it did last year for no real reason. But here's a look at the team heading into the 4th and final year of the rebuild. We've built a really good team here. I mean, we're still an 87 overall, but we should still develop throughout the season. We could even be close to a 90, assuming we do well, but we probably won't. I mean, maybe, you never know, but just knowing how Madden simulation works, I don't know how well we're gonna do. I mean, our O-line is good, our receiving core is amazing. We don't have a hole on offense, really. I mean, maybe guard, you could argue, but Weldon and Edwards will hopefully play well, I hope. On defense, we're also looking very good. Our corner group isn't the best. We have Joey Porter, but like that's our only really good corner. And then our D-line, I mean, no, I wouldn't even call that a weakness because we're really only going to use Hayward and Benton. And Gilliard has superstar if he even does get on the field, so he should develop. So I mean, this team is very nice, and my big theory of this team being one of the best ones to use for this seems pretty good. I don't know if it is the best, like I'm sure you could use the Chiefs or something, but they don't really have a great receiver or well, they have Isaiah Pacheco, but I don't know how well he does in this game. I think he's pretty good actually. Maybe the Eagles would be good too, just because both of those teams have really good rosters on paper, but I don't know. This one worked pretty well. So with that, I mean, this rebuild's already a success, but let's get to the end of year 4 and we'll see how this team does for the final season. Can't wait for it to go 9-8 and miss the playoffs. Oh boy, did I call it. In year number 4, despite having an 88 overall team, probably even better after we spend upgrades. Yeah, an 89. We finished 7-10. I love this game. How many times have I said it? This is like the most EA rebuild I've maybe ever done. Are we still the best roster in the NFL? Probably. Does it matter? No. Yeah, the 49ers have an 87, so do the Dolphins, so do the Chiefs, so do the Bucks. And guess what? We're 2 overall better than all them and missed the playoffs. I love it here. It's great. I guess we'll go over season stats really quick though. I guess it doesn't matter because we're not in the playoffs. Emmett Lamb was good, 4,300 yards, 32 touchdowns. Kind of a lot of picks, but oh well. Najee Harris was really good. Amon-Ra and Pat Freiermuth both went over 1,000 yards. Penei Sewell was terrible. So was Keegan Woodley. The interior wasn't bad, though. Was pretty good. And then on defense, a lot of tackles. Good amount of tackles for loss. Good amount of pressure, even. Only 9 picks, but I've seen a lot worse. The stats don't even look like a 7-10 team. I mean, our O-line was awful, but overall, our offense was great, and our defense was fine. Interesting. I mean, the yearly awards don't even matter, but I guess we'll check. Najee comes in at number 2 for Offensive Player of the Year. Mack at 4 for Defensive Player of the Year. Hayward at 5. Burrows at 10. And CJ Porter at number 7 for Defensive Rookie of the Year. But that's it. Disappointing way to end the rebuild, but at least we got a Super Bowl win with this team, even though we maybe should have had 2, because again, we're the best team in the NFL. We are the best roster by 2 whole overall. So, unfortunate way to end the rebuild, but it is what it is. Again, we won a Super Bowl, so it's a success either way. But I really hope y'all enjoyed me complaining for probably about an hour. If you did, again, be sure to drop a like and subscribe and all that good stuff if you want to hear me complain more. But I really appreciate you all for watching all the way to the end of the video if you did. Again, let me know what team you want me to rebuild for the next video. But with that, I'll see y'all again in the next video. Goodbye.